We're going to learn the element of art value. Value is how deep or light a colour is, and we can do it with any kind of material. And the reason it's important in art is because we learn how to show things are 3D by showing where the light is on an object. I'm dividing my paper up because I'm going to draw 3 ice cream cones to show what I'm learning. So I've got 3 sections and I've measured mine at around 10 centimetres, and I'm just going to put my page into the section so that I can do 3 different things for practice. So drawing an ice cream cone, you need a curved line with another underneath. Join them together and put them onto a point. I'm making kind of a waffle cone pattern by just doing sort of diagonal lines which will make it look like an ice cream cone. And now we draw the ice cream, and you can see I've gone over my cone a little bit, and I'll just erase those lines so that it looks better for painting. We also want the cone to look 3D, so what I'm going to do is show you how to put a little bit of light on one side when you're using your watercolours. So I'm going to use a palette for my watercolours so that I can add water and make it a little bit thinner than what I have in my set of colours. So I'm painting it, and it's quite a dark colour for the cone, so if I want to lighten it I just loosen it up with some water. You can also paint with water first of all to make sure your paint goes on smoothly if you would like to. So now I'm going to use some water and take away the paint on the right of my ice cream cone just to lighten it up a little bit. And by doing that it creates a highlight on one side, and then I'm adding a tiny bit of darker paint onto the right. I've taken the dark grey out of my palette and I've added some water to it just to make that side a little darker. And just by doing this, darkening one side and lightening up the other, it gives it a little bit of a 3D feel. So one side darker, one side lighter, and my cone looks like it has a little bit of a curve to it. So now I've chosen the colour for my ice cream, and this one shall be strawberry. And so what I've done is I've taken the colour almost straight from the set of watercolours, and then I've loosened it up in my palette with some water. So I've taken a little bit into the next section and I've added some water. So you can see I've got one at the bottom that's very light, then a medium tone, and then the top one, which I'm painting now, is practically straight from the palette. And I'm still adding in my water so that I can make it loose enough to paint smoothly, but I'm using a lot more pigment by not using as much water. So you can see I've got 3 tones. I've got the deepest tone at the top, then I've got the medium and the light. And now I'm going to draw another ice cream. I'll speed it up so you can see how I do it. So this is my practice. I'll do it again and again with some different colours. I'm going to draw my cone slightly differently, and I'm going to continue to add the highlight and the low light. So getting into my next colour, you can see that I'm working from the top down. Either way is fine. And I'm increasing the lightness of my colour by just using water. With watercolour paints, you often get a white colour in your palette, but I only really use that white colour if I'm trying to mix another very opaque colour. The best way to lighten up your watercolours is to add water to them to thin them out, because we want our watercolours to be translucent and to show the paper through. So here we go. The last one is a raspberry one, and I've added in some sprinkles on my cone, and on my first ice cream I also added in a cherry. Have fun!